Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We're asking permission, inshallah, to speak, to say something that is going to benefit those ones who are listening. Without the permission, even when you have knowledge, it's not going to be so much benefit. That one has to give the key. So we're asking if it's necessary to send, inshallah. Shaykh Abdulkerim, he was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describing mountains in the Quran. And the tafsir of the awliyas, the friends of Allah, the saints and scholars. Those mountains, they are referring to the kutubs, the great friends of Allah. It's not these physical mountains that we are seeing. And he was like a mountain. He was unshakable. And his vision was very far. He is accessible. Everyone can go, everyone can be resting with him, asking for help. But in order to understand him deeper, to go on the way, on the path, for those who are given that responsibility, it is difficult. Anything that has value has some difficulty in it, because he is walking in the way of the prophets. What does that mean? There are moments when he was alone, witnessing Shaykh Efendi for some time. It's not moments, it's almost every time. But he did not waver, he didn't shake. And he has his direction, he has his mission from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and from his Shaykh, and he continues. His mission is not just this place, his mission is every place. His mission is not just this world, his mission is in every world. What is it? There's many. But one of the aims, as I understand it, maybe so many other people, they have met him and they've spent some time, you may ask them also. Maybe they are seeing things that I'm not seeing. Definitely they are. But as one of the aims of the prophets is to bring not just the justice, divine justice in this world, but to bring divine mercy into this world. Because the justice, it is gone. The rights of the people are not given. The rights that doesn't belong to us, Allah is the one who gave. And the hearts of men that have become harder than stone. Men means men and women. They don't feel anymore. Other than themselves and their ego, they don't feel anymore. And that they are sunk into running after, being in love with this world, pleasing your ego, worshipping to your ego. And when this is done on a large scale, he's not just teaching us how to personally keep our faith, keep our sanity, keep our relationship with Allah, but he's talking about something that is global, something that is about this world and something that connects to the other worlds as well, because everything is connected. And waking up mankind, things are not right in this world. Yeah, you may say this world is the lowest of the low, it's not right, but especially in these days, it's very, very not right. Just because we're sitting in a nice, comfortable place, it doesn't mean the whole world is like this. It is not. We are in a bubble. And majority of the world, the people are suffering. And here we're not saying, oh, they're suffering because they don't have faith, this, or they're not doing. No, majority of the people, we may say they're innocent. They don't know too much. But because of the extreme tyranny that has overtaken the hearts of our leaders and in the system, and that comes down to the majority of the people, a tyranny. What does that mean? Tyranny. Prophet ﷺ is saying, the Muslim, it is one body. If the body, one part feels pain, the whole body feels pain. Yes? Now we are separated because the body needs a head. If the body doesn't have a head, poke one part, not the whole body, no part feels no pain. So now, everywhere is burning, not only in Muslim countries, non-Muslim countries, not only amongst men, but in the skies, on the earth, amongst the animals. We've tyrannized this world because we want to rule it the way that our desires want. We're not taking the ruling from the ruler, saying, you have to do it like this, through the prophets and through his friends. Say, no, I have a mind, I think. Those who have religion and those who don't have religion. Following to their ego. I can read, I can interpret, this is what I want. This is what I think it should be. And that has made this world fall into a deep darkness and a drugged situation. And if you're not able to feel, to empathize, how can you love? How can you? Imagine you tell someone, I love you. That one is suffering, and you don't feel nothing, but you say, I love you. What kind of a love is that? You can say, I'm so in love with you, but that one is crying and suffering and hungry and starving and in misery, but you don't care because you're so filled with your own sense of love. That love has become selfish. It's for you. It's just a nice feeling for you. Now, so our Shaykh is teaching us that these are dark times that we're living in. We're living in a bubble. It's good, but you know, living here, anytime the bubble may burst too. It's not a given. Come on. In the rest of the world, the bubble has been burst over and over again. So, knowing in spirituality and religion, when things get very, very, very bad, Allah sends someone. In a way, there's no prophet after the Holy Prophet, ﷺ, yes, but he sends a savior. That one is called Mahdi, ﷺ. And that one is going to prepare for the second coming of Isa, ﷺ, of Jesus. This is what all Muslims believe, that he will return and he will fight evil and he will bring back not just the law of love, but he'll bring back the law of justice. That time, yes, he'll come carrying a sword. Sword was not given to him. So, and these things are not specific to just one country, one people. It's everywhere. And Sheikh Abdulkerim Efendi is making us to understand this, that it affects everyone. And he has said over and over again, understand that there is truth and there is falsehood. Falsehood is very complicated. The truth is one, it stands very straight and firm. But because this is Ahir Zaman, it says now the black is white and white is black. Don't get fooled. Things are so upside down now. Now the wolves are in sheep's clothing, and the sheep cannot remain as sheep because they know the wolves dress like that. They dress in something else. So, he's saying, come back to your Lord. And he's saying, be servants. If you're Muslims, be servants. Be good. Treat each other good. Understand what is your ego that is forcing you to do selfish things, and understand what your Lord wants from you and your spirit that is coming from Him to help others. And he's saying, whatever that you believe in, be sincere. Whatever you believe in, be sincere. Allah is the owner of all sincerity, and He will give to you when you are searching for it. He lived his life like that. And this kind of teachings is also not very popular. People can say, but they cannot say too much. Because the majority, they're coming for religion to make themselves feel good. But in the spiritual training, to understand the evil within and to control it, that is the first step towards peace and love and everything else. You don't get peace and love first and then try to do that. You can't. So dealing with the enemy that is within. Most just want to be told that they're good. Okay, everything is fine, be happy. We said so many times, what is there to be happy about in this world? Really? Can you really be so heedless and headless and drunk to say, I'm so happy, when you know that your neighbor is starving? When you know that your neighbor is being... So what can you do? You cannot, as the Prophet says, you see something wrong, change with your hands. You cannot change with your hands, meaning you don't have the power to do so many things. It's taken from you or it's blocked. Then change with your tongue. Say something to yourself or to others. You stop from doing that. Then change in your heart. In your heart. And in your heart, with your prayers, with that understanding, your life will also change. It's not going to be heedless. So, he is bringing this very ancient teachings, as the Prophet 1400 years has said, in these times you should be concentrating on. And is bringing in the knowledge of how this knowledge has unfolded for 1400 years, that this is not something new. This is something that has progressively happened. And what happened 1400? What happened 1200? What happened 1000 years ago? What happened 800 years ago? What happened 100 years ago? Everything is connected to where we are right now. The history of, let's say, Islam, the history of the world. And what is going to happen in the future. These things are told to those ones who are able to carry that knowledge. And for us to change our lives, to try with our hands, with our tongue, with our heart, right now. Islam has never been an apocalyptic religion to say, oh, world's going to end. No. Because the Prophet was clear in his message. The Sahabis, the companions, were clear in their message. And the scholars and the saints were saying, like this, not too much, like this, not too much. Later on, maybe. Because around the year 1000, they asked bigger saints and the bigger scholars, is this? And they said no. I believe it was Imam Nawawi who said no. But 500 years from now, it may be. So there is always that maybe. Are we being apocalyptic here? What does apocalyptic means? Huh? You are putting panic into everyone, saying the world is going to end, be, how you say, give everything up, be emotional, be reckless. No. The Prophet says, even if you know the world is going to end tomorrow, and your work is to plant a date tree. A date tree takes 40 years for it to grow and to give fruit. It says, plant that date tree. But we are living with that understanding. As you know, in Islam, the prophecies of the last days, most of it has happened. Yeah, most of it has happened. So it is with that understanding that time is limited, even if you are not believing in all these things. You say, no, 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 the world's not going to, the world is young, the world is healthy, it's beautiful. Even if you believe that, we all have death facing us. We all have that end of the world, our world facing us. So what are we doing? Allah has given us faith. But that faith is not something that we just take and keep it to ourselves. That faith must change our heart, our bodies, our communities, and this world. That used to be the way. Faith changed that. Faith is not just for us to keep it to ourselves and then that's it. No, it's not. Every prophet came to bring change to the whole world. Our Shaykh is following the way of the prophets. So he was alone most of the time. And he gathered many people. And there are those who had left him as well, betrayed him as they did the prophets. There are those who were two-faced. There are those that had never stopped attacking him since he was given divine responsibility to spread this. Never stop attacking him, insulting him, calling him names, slandering him. It's never stopped. It only stopped when he passed away. Then everything became very quiet. It's been 10 years, well, 11 Hijri, 12 Hijri, 11 years. Shamsi. Because here's a reminder. Those who are in falsehood, they have a problem with truth. You say, just get away. You remind us of the truth, making us feel bad, uncomfortable. Just very strong and firm. Then they were pretty happy. Everyone is attacking him, slandering him, men and women, young and old, high and low. Then it all stopped. And then for 10 years, we see they like him. Suddenly their tune changed. They say, yeah, very nice. You like our Shaykh. Because he's no longer a threat. He's no longer, reminding them. We thought, he's gone. He's not gone. As I said, the saint, when he's in this world, is like a sword in the scabbard. And when he passes, it's like a sword that is outside of that scabbard, meaning the powers are increased. The real power is there. It's unfolded. Holy Prophet ﷺ and Shaykh Maulana had given him the title of the owner of the swords. So now after 11 years, suddenly they say, oh, he's not gone. And they're seeing his work is continuing. Then now you're going to see it's going to start again. So that work, his work, is with us. Yes? Every time you are stepping on your anger, you're continuing his work. Every time the arrogance is coming up and you control it, you're continuing the work. Every time you step on your stubbornness, every time the ego rises up and you handle it, every time you try to uphold justice, every time that you are sacrificing, every time that you're helping, every time you're patient, you're continuing his work. Every time that you're sure this is wrong, you stay away from it, and this is right, and you run, you're continuing his work. And it's not just this place. This place is just one place. But Shaykh Efendi is for every place, every time. And people are following him. We have to understand, like he said before, understand and, how you say, your legend. Wake up your sleeping legend. You are not made to go to this world just to eat and drink and to marry and to die. You say you're in the world, in the work of Allah, the work of the prophets. They didn't come just for that. So, we live in peace. But this world is not peaceful. We come up to the top of the mountain to live in peace. Still people are attacking us like this. It doesn't matter. We don't go fighting back. But we know what is right and wrong. And what we have to stop is ourselves from becoming that. So, Shaykh Efendi in his long service to his Shaykh, Shaykh Maulana Nazim Hazretleri, Sultan Awliya, to his Prophet, to his religion, to his Allah, in his long service, he went everywhere. Since he was young, he went everywhere. Since he was a mujahid, he went everywhere. Since he was sent here, when he was barely 20 years old to represent his Shaykh, he went everywhere. He went to an entire new continent. As Sheikh Abdullah had said, this son of ours is going to open up our way in a new continent in America. He's going to make them to say La ilaha illallah in the streets. Years later, it became true. And not only that, everywhere else in the world that he went to, from India to China to the Middle East to Eastern Europe to everywhere that he is called, he goes. So we are continuing that tradition. He goes with the blessings and with the secrets of his Shaykh Nazim. And we are continuing that. So many people tried to stop him. So many people saying, oh, he's not a Shaykh. So many people even called him Shaitan. And they said his zikr is the zikr of Shaitan. So many, they got quiet too. But he never stopped his work. We don't listen to people, we just continue. We only listen to what Allah, that is our work. Who cares? So, all those things are coming back. And in some ways we're saying, oh, really, we are worth to carry that responsibility now? Don't lose the plot of you. 10 years, 11 years have passed. Don't settle into routine, domesticity, just this dunya, just working and having a nice life with your family. Our legend is bigger than that. All of that, of course, you have to do, but don't get stuck there. This is one poison that is going to hit. Because when you become complacent and comfortable, that's the first step. Your heart is sealing. So, once you become complacent and comfortable, you shut out discomfort. You're just in your own group, in your own family, in your own tribe. That's not the way of the prophets. So, dogs may bark, but the caravan continues. Let them bark, that's their job. Our job is not to bark back, but to continue. And we have a long way to continue. Those who want to listen, they listen. Those who don't want to listen, they don't listen. Allah is the one who is the turner of hearts, not us. Our work is just to deliver the message as best as we can. So, what he brought, I don't see anywhere else. And what he brought is enough for not only this world, but 18,000 worlds. So, we want to share, because our taste and our happiness is also in sharing. If you don't share, there's no taste. So everywhere else in the world now is trying to wake up. When we talked earlier, Islam and sharing cultures and traditions and experiences and people and bloods, this is what it means to be Ottoman. Exactly what it means to be Ottoman. Every shade and color. So, the Ottomans must come back. It will. With that, Mahdi alayhi salam will then come. With that, Isa alayhi salam will then come. And whether we are asking for it or not asking for it, it will come, with or without. I don't think we're doing anything great. We're doing that for our own benefit, our own selves. We're not doing truth a favor. We're not helping Allah. He doesn't need help. If we're not carrying that, He'll choose someone better than us. So many times in the history of Islam, the Muslims, they think that they are better than others, but they drop their responsibility. Allah makes their enemies, who came to destroy the Muslims, Allah makes their enemies to have Islam and to carry that responsibility much better than what the earlier Muslims were. And this is life. So, the message of the Ottomans, as the permission and the order was given by the Holy Prophet to set up this OSMANLI Dergahı world. He has set that. Flag was given to him, was put here. Now he says bring it to everywhere. So we're bringing as much as we can. That's all. People will try to stop us and question and this and that. Dog will bark. We continue. One thing, we have never asked anyone for help. Inside or outside. They don't offer, we don't ask. But now that SahibulSaif's way is opening, suddenly, how shall we put it? Suddenly they become very concerned about us. So, oh, I thought we don't exist to you. Suddenly we exist. So that's normal. We try to continue, inshallah. What is it here? We're trying to live as a community, as a village. What it means, a village? Huh? What it means, they say, people in the village, you don't lock your door. What does that mean? There is always not only access, there is always socialization. Your lives are intertwined. You help each other, you see each other every day, you talk to each other, you care about each other. This is beyond religion. Huh? These are the old ways. That is not so ancient until yesterday. But when you see more traditional societies, they hold this very strongly. So when you have that kind of interchange, then people will start practicing their spirituality, not just talking about it. It's easy to talk about patience. Oh, we can talk so much about patience. It's easy to be existential. It's easy to be philosophical. Yeah, be existential and philosophical with a room filled with 100 screaming children. Test your patience then. Test your spirituality with 20 different nationalities of people with their own quirks and eccentricities and care for them sincerely. As Shaykh Maulana says, to carry unpleasantness, it is a sign of spirituality. That is a way of tariqat. Just to carry unpleasantness from people, just to be patient. How are you going to do that if you don't have something, a community that is committed? Can you get married and not be committed? Yeah, I mean, there's so many different arrangements these days. Not something that is blessed. Can you get married and say, okay, you live your life, I live my life, you can see anyone, I can see. Yeah, we've seen so many showing themselves as role models these days. That is wrong. We don't believe in that. You can do as you like, but we don't believe in that. It is wrong. So there has to be a commitment. And not everyone can do it, sure. But when your spiritual yearning is more important than anything else, then you look for that spiritual body. You call in other people, fellowship and this and that, but it's not coming once a week. It's not even coming once a day. You cannot. You have to get stronger. So we're trying to do that in different ways, with different people in different countries. And we hope it's accepted. We are weak ones. We cannot do everything properly. But we must be busy with that. Inshallah. Again, I didn't intend to talk so much today. But yes.
Give me less snow, okay?
But I don't control the snow.
Oh, give me less snow, okay?
We can all pray for it, okay?
Give me less snow, okay?
Okay.
Right? Give me less snow,
Inshallah.
right?
Okay. Fatiha. As he likes. Okay. Give the tea. It came. I said, no, I don't want this too much.